When Jesus spoke of a tribulation unequaled from the beginning of the world until now and never to be equaled again, he was clearly using prophetic hyperbole. And if this literary reality is not comprehended, well, then Scripture collapses in hopeless contradiction. If Israel faced its greatest tribulation in the past, Christ would have been gravely mistaken to predict a greater tribulation in the future.
Wow. To say that Jesus was committing a prophetic hyperbole, euphemistically, an untruth, uneuphemistically, a lie, not being accurate, not telling the truth. I'm reminded of the first time in the Bible that someone gave a prophetic hyperbole, thus defining it. It was, yes, the serpent to Adam and Eve, to Eve, who declared, no, surely you won't die. That's just prophetic hyperbole. The problem is, before one looks at prophetic hyperbole, one should be absolutely, entirely clear that it is not such a thing. In my studying of scriptures, the prophetic hyperbole that I have seen, and yes, that category does exist, it's almost exclusively done by false prophets in the Old Testament. Prophetic hyperbole isn't that of coming from God. God might use metaphors and similes and such in prophecy. But hyperbole is another complete category that is, as I said, it's essentially lying. Euphemistically, it's telling an untruth. This is not good. This is really not good. And what's worse is he doesn't justify why this is such a prophetic hyperbole. Moreover, he uses now, he would argue that I subjectively cut out specific part out of context, but of course I can't include the whole passage. I'll have to say that even if put in context, the other things that he say does not warrant what he is accusing Jesus of. Moreover, what he says to attempt to justify it in the rest of the piece, I would shut down also, because it's just not accurate. But to make this statement, it just reminds me how prophetic hyperbole was used by the serpent in the garden. It's used by it's used by Satan in other places. It's used by false prophets all over the place, telling people, oh, you can do this. Oh, no, sin is okay. You won't really go into the lake of fire. That's just a prophetic hyperbole. Sin really isn't bad. Yeah, it's okay to do those things. God really isn't. He doesn't mean that he's going to punish you for doing sin. And that's the problem when you go down the road of calling something prophetic hyperbole, when in my studies itself indicate that there is absolutely no reason in the world to believe that this is such a thing as prophetic hyperbole from God. Again, I will say prophetic hyperbole, not of God, not what God does. It's not there. I just don't see it. Not in this passage, not in other passages. Similes, metaphors, yes, but it's not the same as hyperbole, which is to way overstate something in a statement that is coming from God himself. I haven't seen God do that. No, not a little bit. All right, thanks for watching this. Tell me what you think. Goodbye then.